what would the world be without magic? I'm David Kwong, the magician behind Now You See Me. With this film, we endeavored to create for audiences the feeling of watching any great magic trick, whether it be a large stage illusion or a sleight of hand trick on the street. We instilled into the film mystery, misdirection, and lots of entertainment. One. Magic will always be about deception, but at its core, magic is an art form that has been passed down over the ages. From Keller to Houdini, each generation brings something new to magic and expands the power of myth and illusion. In Now You See Me, each of the four horsemen possess unique talents. They are masters of stage illusion, street magic, mentalism, and escapology. Each a colorful part of the tapestry of illusion. The four horsemen combine their talents to create an elaborate heist, with clues hidden at every turn. Now we'll show you just how these disciplines came to be, and we'll conjure up stories of the incredible exploits of bold individuals who believed in themselves enough to make the world believe in the power of magic.
Whatever this grand trick is, it was designed. And I believe that what's about to follow is really going to amaze.
Long before magic was brought into your living rooms, the secret language of illusion was passed down through a lineage of conjurers and innovators. The mechanics of illusion appeared in 1584 in Great Britain. The discovery of witchcraft by Reginald Scott explains conjurers' tricks as performances rather than supernatural manifestations. But soon after its publication, by order of King James I, every copy of the book that could be found was burned. But the stage theatrics of the Four Horsemen would not be possible without a clockmaker in Paris who ushered in the modern era of stage magic. A Frenchman by the name of Jean-Eugène Robert Houdin would come to be known as the father of modern magic. In 1840, he opened the Théâtre Robert Houdin in Paris, the first of its kind. His elaborate shows included mechanical automata, electromagnetism, hidden assistants, and elaborately engineered stage tricks that are still performed today. Moreover, Robert Houdin transformed magic from street juggling into an elegant theatrical event. By the late 1800s, stage magic had captured the imagination of audiences all over the world. Alexander Herman, the legendary Egyptian hall performer, would be responsible for creating the image often associated with magicians. The top hat, goatee, and tailcoats would be Herman the Great's signature look, the devil in evening clothes. In the early Robinson.
Just having fun.
In the movie, Woody Harrelson plays Merritt McKinney, a mentalist who, like many before him, has seen his career rise and fall. Always straddling the line between fraud and mysticism, mentalists have been criticized for taking advantage of their spectators' vulnerabilities. But mentalism is one of the most ancient magic practices. Soothsayers employed techniques to deceive believers by exhibiting wondrous acts of memorization, mind control, and telepathy. One of the most celebrated mentalists at the turn of the century was Alexander, the man who knows. Alexander claimed to be a mind reader and a psychic, and earned a fortune as one of the most successful magic acts of the day. Dressed in exotic robes, sporting a jeweled turban, and peering into his gazing globe, Alexander claimed to possess powers of telepathy and clairvoyance. Jackets, cages, coffins, steel boxes, barrels, bags, burning buildings, and water tanks. Some of the tools of the venerated class of magicians known as escape artists. This art form would be perfected by the man whose name would become synonymous with magic, Harry Houdini. But before Houdini's time, performers like the Davenport brothers combined escapology with spiritualism. The Davenports would climb inside a spirit cabinet. They would bind themselves with rope, and once inside, they would channel the supernatural world. Strange and eerie noises would emanate from the cabinet, but when the chamber was flung open, the performer would still appear to be tied up. The Davenports traveled across the Americas and Europe, along with a man who called himself the Dean of American Magicians, Harry Keller. Years later, a markedly different kind of escapology would become popular. One man would rise above the rest, Eric Weiss, known to the world as Harry Houdini. Houdini added an I to the name Houdin to emulate the aforementioned great French innovator. Houdini, a brilliant marketer and public performer, ensured that his audiences knew that his escapes had nothing to do with the supernatural, but rather showcased his strength and ingenuity. In the 1920s, Houdini would turn much of his attention to exposing psychics, spiritualists, and mediums who claimed they possessed otherworldly powers. Houdini's 1924 expose of Mediums, a magician among the spirits, would ultimately antagonize his close friend, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who was a firm believer in spiritualism. Point for many modern-day aspiring magicians. Like young Jack Wilder, many of the greats made a name for themselves on the streets with their raw talent and showmanship. Contemporary street magic has come into the mainstream as the exploits of these street tricksters have garnered huge cult followings through social media and online videos. But the roots of street magic can be traced back thousands of years. Perhaps the most legendary of all street performances is the Indian rope trick, which still no one has seen today with their own eyes. Pickpocketing so often goes hand in hand with street magic. Look no further than Bosch's The Conjurer, which features an unsuspecting mark taken in by the cups and balls. In recent times, street magic has risen to incredible popularity due to the engaging street performances of David Blaine. Blaine would become one of the most iconic magicians of our time with his feats of endurance and escape. Test of one's skills. Whether it's cards or coins, masters of sleight of hand spend thousands of hours on moves that play out in only a few effortless seconds. In Now You See Me, we demonstrate what magic can accomplish as it continues to evolve. Today, modern conjurers are merging magic with science and technology. Magic will always attract students who will study tirelessly to learn its secrets and innovate new presentations of the art form.
Who doesn't love a good magic trick?
I couldn't have said it any better myself. I'm David Kwong, and I hope you enjoyed this glimpse into the history of magic.